There we go. Hello and welcome to our script reading of Psych Season 2, Episode 1, American Duos. Without further ado, let's get into it.
Interior. Audition room, day 2007. A pair of singers stand breathlessly waiting. Seated at a table across from them is Nigel St. Nigel, smug and articulate. He looks at them squarely and speaks without pause. You're stiff, inarticulate, slightly jaundiced, asymmetrical. You smell. The one on the right, there's something in your teeth. All in all, I'd say there's absolutely nothing worthwhile about either one of you. The singers stand, shell-shocked. Finally, one of them is able to muster a response.
But we haven't even sang yet.
Nigel considers this. Apples and oranges. He looks to the other judges, handpicked Rockwell, and slightly loopy and self-medicated former pop star Emelina Saffron. I've seen enough. Anybody else?
I like them.
Of course you like them. You've been asleep for the last 45 minutes. Rockwell begins to speak, but before he can utter a sound. Good, moving on. Interior, psych office, continuous. As Gus and Shawn watch this exchange on television, Gus with bated breath, Shawn is disgusted.
You see, this is why we need to go ahead and just... You're shushing me for reality television? Are you serious? Dude.
Shawn recoils, slightly disturbed. The show goes to commercial.
Rule 1, Shawn. No talking during duos.
Gus, use the pause button once, please, for the love of Lori Loughlin. Why did we get TiVo if we don't fast forward and I'm never allowed to stop for commentary?
The show is intended to be watched straight through. There's a rhythm to this show.
Like when they do personal segments about how they were born in a giant corn silo and named all their pigs after characters from Big Valley. You're right, it's like really, really good jazz.
Suddenly, the phone rings. Shawn jumps up.
Whoa. No calls either.
Gus, this show is nothing more than a knockoff of the other knockoff of the other knockoff show. They've got the standard cranky Brit, the crazy former pop star. How many of these process shows are you going to get suckered into?
The contestants in this one are duos, which makes it way more compelling because they have to mesh, become one soul, like Viger and Stephen Collins in Star Trek 1, and they're shooting in Santa Barbara this year, so it more than compensates. Don't you dare answer it.
It's Juliet! She might be bleeding and in a ditch.
She's not in a ditch.
Then maybe she's lonely and in the shower. Either way, it's a win, except for the ditch one.
She has a shower phone?
I certainly hope so.
He answers, listens for 1 second.
We'll be there.
Interior, Santa Barbara Police Station, night. Shawn and Gus enter. Juliet meets them outside the chief's office. The guys are still bickering.
Gus, seriously, I'm canceling the TiVo. No more frame by frame, no more ghost cat.
I recorded that by accident.
Then why didn't you erase it for 3 months?
Fine, but I'm putting the official Gus spoiler alert up until we watch the recording. When we get back, nobody utters a word about American duos.
That's going to be difficult.
Why?
She leads them into Chief Vic's office, where they find Nigel St. Nigel in the flesh. Gus reels back on his heels.
Oh man, wow, Nigel St. Nigel.
Nigel sits next to interim Chief Vic. Gus is tongue-tied for a moment, then completely changes his tone.
You were totally unfair to Catherine Clement in season 2.
I don't remember who you're referring to, but she was hideous. Nigel, disappointed, looks to interim Chief Vic. This is them?
Yes, Sean Spencer and Burton Guster, our resident psychic team.
The answer is no. He stands.
No, what? Was the question, have I seen better hair? If so, I thank you, sir.
Mr. St. Nigel, this is exactly what you asked for. Hear them out.
There's no reason.
Hear them out.
She gives him a firm look. Surprised, he obeys.
Nigel needs protection.
You realize you're in a police station?
I don't trust the police. They're useless. No offense.
Oh, none taken.
Mr. St. Nigel has been the victim of a series of threats and attempts on his life by a crazed stalker. He believes even the police could somehow be in on this conspiracy, even though we've assured him.
I can speak for myself. And stop slouching. Juliet stands up straight. Every time I bring in some sort of professional protection, my attacker gets closer. My car has been tampered with. My trailer has been broken into. Accidents follow me everywhere. I need someone who can anticipate my attacker's next move, who can move about undetected. Shawn looks at Gus, excited. Best case ever? Perhaps.
You're talking about a psychic who senses the danger before it strikes, who can tell you to duck before the bullet leaves the chamber, who...
Spare me the theatrics. Can you do it or not?
You're criticizing his speech too?
The chief puts a silencing hand up and walks to Shawn.
We're asking you to go undercover. No one outside of this room will know that you're on the job.
Shawn and Gus exchange a secret low fist bump.
Consider yourself safe, Nigel. We'll need full access to the theater tomorrow. Air shafts, green rooms, spokesmodels.
I'd like to speak to all the stars ASAP, get a handwriting sample in my autograph book.
Juliet stops them.
Slow down, guys. We need to think this through. Come up with a plan. You'll need to blend. Obviously, a lot of the local police already know you, so you can't use false identity.
I already have a plan.
You have a plan?
Already?
Everyone waits. Well, what is it?
I thought you wanted us to be stealth.
St. Nigel smiles for the first time. All right. Interior, police station, day. Shawn and Gus walk out. Lassiter sees them coming out of the chief's office.
What are you doing here?
We can't tell you.
Louis' business.
All part of a secret plan. I'm sure you understand.
They keep walking. Lassiter, unsure if they're kidding.
You better have a plan.
Interior, audition room, day. The three judges are behind the panel. Another contestant we don't see leaves. Phenomenal. More farm folk. Bring in the next two contestants. The door opens. In walk Shawn and Gus.
Hello.
Nigel can't believe what he's seeing. Juliet drops her police radio. Emelina inexplicably has a high heel shoe on the table in front of her. She looks at one of her stock question note cards.
What do you two hope to get out of this competition?
We just hope to be here long enough to do something great.
He winks to Nigel.
Well, round one is the most
She
difficult.
trails off, lost in thought. We'll never know. Why don't you go ahead?
Sure thing. I have a feeling we're gonna blow you away.
Off Nigel's worried look and Juliet's horrified gaze, we roll credits. End of teaser. Shawn and Gus are singing a cappella. It's slightly reminiscent of an AHA hit from 1986, only because it is, without the cartoon video accompaniment.
Take on me,
Take on me.
take me on.
Take on me.
I'll be gone in a dream.
The judges are dumbfounded. This was not good. Not even close. Shawn and Gus wait for a reaction. Well, that was something.
Something awesome.
St. Nigel is speechless momentarily. Emelina dramatically puts back on her shoe.
Honestly, guys, bad news. This is gonna hurt. Although I love your style because you both opted to wear purple.
Shawn and Gus look at each other. Neither is wearing purple. Nigel starts to get nervous, realizing his protectors are about to get bounced from the auditorium.
We must have to be straight up in saying that.
We could not even understand how brilliant that was.
Pardon me?
It was real. It was rough. Postmodern, yet challenging. Sandpaper-esque.
Sandpaper-esque?
Complete.
They didn't even get most of the words right. I'm voting no.
Well, I vote yes.
Well, that leaves it up to Rockwell.
He votes yes.
He hasn't spoken.
He doesn't need to.
Rockwell?
Votes yes. Next, Shawn and Gus are ushered out. Emelina glares at Nigel. Interior, contestants holding area, day. Shawn and Gus walk out. Juliet stops them.
You gone completely insane?
No?
What was it?
Us advancing to the next round.
You got the words wrong.
Juliet, those AHA guys were from Norway. Even they didn't know what they were singing.
Are you considering singing for round 2?
I was thinking something timeless. Yankee Rose, David Lee Roth. Too obvious? I thought it would be different because Gus could sing the guitar part.
Guys, if you're going to stay in this competition, you're going to need to step it up. Way up. Now I've got to go. I can't be seen talking to you two. And not just because you're undercover.
Interior, backstage area, day. Shawn looks around. Gus is in full business mode with a handful of scribbled notes.
Nigel's essentially a monster. He's an equal opportunity bastard. The list of suspects can be narrowed down to everybody. Even I kind of want to kill him.
So where does that leave us?
Well, there have been 9 incidents that can be counted as attempts on his life in 9 different cities, each with varying success. We have to assume it's someone who's here every week.
Good.
No, not good. That only narrows it down to crew, security, and fans, most of which are pretty diehard. We'll have to talk to everybody, which is going to be pretty hard because I think I'm developing a polyp.
Gus sees a singer running vocal scales behind a curtain ahead, hitting all the notes in this basic warm-up exercise. Gus quickly stops discussing the case. The singer stops.
Hey, my name's Shawn Spencer. This is my partner, Guster TT Showbiz.
That's extra T. It is for extra talent.
We just advanced to round 2.
Congratulations. Bevan Rennie Lelwyn.
Well, you already have got us beat with that name.
Where is your partner?
Don't have one. I sing both parts.
The show's called American Duo.
It's my hook. Everyone needs a thing. Learned that last year. Good luck, dudes.
He walks away.
He did it.
Him? You talk to one guy and you're done?
His name's Bevan Rennie Llewellyn.
Another duo bursts out from offstage. The Cade brothers, Rance and Chance, from North Dakota. Think Buscemi and Stormare in cowboy hats.
Woo! Woo!
They see Shawn and Gus and approach.
Hey, fellow winners. I'm Chance Kate. This here's my brother Rance. We just made the next round too.
Rance? Nice.
Yeah, Nigel called him a curious cocktail of obesity and stupid. But then they sent us through anyway.
Rance doesn't speak. He's just big and stone cold pissed.
That's hitting below the belt.
Yeah, Australian people are mean.
Chance and Ranscade exit. B.
I was wrong. It was them.
Shawn, you can't just assume that
You
everybody.
see the thighs on that big one?
Contestants don't get access to trailers, the hotels, the media room, which is where half the attacks occurred.
So, what are you saying? You want to keep investigating?
Yeah, kind of do.
Interior, catwalk, day. High above the action, Shawn and Gus look down into the audition room below.
A sniper could get off a shot here.
Below, two dancers are tearing it up. They're pretty good.
Uh-oh. Those two could beat us.
The janitor and his cat could beat us.
Gus, don't be ridiculous. Cats aren't allowed in the competition. It wouldn't be fair. They'd win on cuddliness alone.
Juliet watches from her post. Shawn vision. As the two dancers tear it up, Juliet's feet subtly move along with their routine, mimicking in perfect step. Shawn smiles. The show's host, Lester Beacon, followed by a large security guard, grabs them by the collar.
Are you supposed to be up here? Define supposed to be.
Interior, Nigel's trailer, day. Shawn and Gus quickly sneak inside. Nigel has both of his hands in cooling jello molds.
There he is. Here's what we've got.
What I've got is tinnitus. Thanks for the gift. How do you expect me to carry you two injured howler monkeys through tomorrow?
Whoa!
I might have been a little pitchy. I had a dairy-heavy Jamba Juice.
Stop with the excuses. Step it up. I cannot carry you another round. I think I prefer the stalker. Exterior, Nigel's trailer, day. They follow Nigel outside as he lights up a cigarette. Shawn looks around, nervous. Something is out of place. Different.
Don't
What?
smoke. Those things can kill you.
We'll add them to the list. Bingo. Shawn vision. A fresh puddle, water streaming into from behind one of the trailers. Nigel pulls out a lighter to spark up his cigarette. Shawn vision. A thick electrical cable smolders off in the horizon where the cable emanates from. Shawn's eyes go wide.
Stop!
He runs over, bear hugging the confused judge. St. Nigel immediately twists away from him, horrified. I do not have physical contact with people with arm hair. He gets out of Shawn's grasp and starts to step forward. Nigel pulls away, but Shawn grabs Nigel's platinum engraved cigarette case and fakes a psychic episode.
That case
Was a gift. A very expensive. Shawn throws it in the fresh water. The metal explodes as it hits what we now realize is a superconducted water. Nigel's ashen face stares at the sight until he realizes his cigarette case is destroyed. You couldn't have told me to stop?
I did.
Shawn steps back. Nigel dusts himself off and tries to collect himself. He looks at the smoldering water, shakes his head, then passes out. End of Act 1. Act 2. Interior Police Station, day. A line full of people fills the police station. They are contestants, techs, all being interviewed as witnesses or suspects. Lassiter walks through.
How many more?
A lot. You wanted everybody who was in the building.
That's right. Inside and outside. Anyone inside the gate. This is attempted murder.
Okay, but I don't see how you can just assume that.
You heard what I... Who's next?
He walks inside. Interior, interrogation room A, day. Waiting there in the suspect chairs are Shawn and Gus, kind of enjoying the fact that they're there.
What's up?
You're kidding. What are you two doing at the show?
We're looking for our big break.
Did I get a phone call?
Out. I'm trying to conduct an investigation.
Don't you want to ask us if we did it?
Ask him. I lead the fifth.
Lassiter pushes them out into the interior police station hallway, day, where Shawn sees Juliet pass, takes off. Gus follows.
Hey, what's up, undercover partner?
No public discussion of your undercover business. I still haven't told Lassiter.
We need a choreographer.
Gus looks at Shawn, surprised.
You need a choreographer.
You both have many needs, so?
So I sense that you're a dancer.
Oh, no. I went to cheerleader camp for 2 weeks. I got kicked out.
Kicked out?
It's a long story. Suffice to say, I don't like liars who steal nail polish and pass out just because you slap them a little bit on the back of the head.
Shawn and Gus look at each other, worried.
Juliet, my heart tells me that you can dance. And we need to step it up, literally, and stomp the yard, figuratively. We reached the second round, an elite class of performers.
97 teams have made it to round 2.
Look, there's no time and you're all we've got.
She looks around, nervous that they will be overheard, and pulls them into interior interrogation room B, day. She closes the door.
The only time I ever danced publicly was when I was in a high school performance of Everybody Hip Hop, which closed after 2 performances. We lost a school record $72 on that production.
All Gus and I do is argue. We need an impartial guiding force. A Svengali, if you will.
I'm a detective, Shawn, not a Svengali.
Fine. I was wrong. Whatever.
He starts toward the door. Then,
Wait.
interior interrogation room, day. Lassiter is across from Rockwell.
And what exactly do you do on the show? I'm a judge. What kind of judge? Talent judge? On camera, I sit on the far left. Really? Have you seen the show? 100 times. I'm sure I would remember you. I can't believe this. I was the first person hired for this show. You're spinning yourself in circles, whoever you are. Maybe you should go outside and rethink your story. What story? Exactly.
McNabb comes to the door, walks out, a dumbfounded Rockwell.
Keep an eye on that one. Who's next?
Enter Emelina Saffron, wearing one shoe.
Great. Bride of Frankenstein. Have a seat.
Interior interrogation room A, later. Emelina sits down.
Why am I here?
Because you're the most obvious suspect. You have the trailer next to Nigel's. You hate him, and you can't seem to account for your whereabouts for the last 60 days.
Everybody hates Nigel.
And everybody loves Raymond. But everybody doesn't have a vacant sense of morality and an assault with a deadly weapon charge on their record.
Please, that was just a publicity stunt. It was a forklift, and I was drunk on a spray bottle of Charlie.
I'm going to need some answers. Some real answers. Or you and I are going to turn on the hot lights and see who cracks first.
So now you're trying to seduce me?
You know, I never thought I'd make this sound in my life. But ugh.
Interior hotel hallway, night. Gus and Shawn walk with Nigel down the hallway. You left me alone for half a day.
We were at the police station.
You'll never make it as bodyguards.
We're not bodyguards.
You'll never make it as anything. As they walk, Shawn visions the hotel hallway, the elevator door, a maid cart, the half-eaten food on the service trays with little plastic swords in them. Interior, Nigel's hotel suite, night. They enter, the door opens. A food cart is waiting in the room. Thank goodness, I'm starving.
What's that?
My standing order. He lifts the silver food cover off, revealing a tuna sandwich. Shawn looks at it closely.
Don't eat that.
Why not?
I'm sensing something about this sandwich. It's...
Delicious?
He looks closer at the food.
I was thinking poisoned. It's not from the hotel kitchen.
Nigel steps behind Gus nervously. Interior, police station. Interim chief's office. Night. Nigel, Shawn, and Gus wait in the chief's office. Lassiter enters with a tox report, slaps it on the desk.
Looks like Spencer was right. There was enough drugs to kill a Clydesdale on that tuna salad Nikoy's sandwich.
See, your hotel detail couldn't handle one room.
Pardon me, I'm not the target who's off ordering room service.
It's a standing order.
We're almost through with our screen of the room. Mr. St. Nigel, I suggest you stay here until we can clear the scene.
Good plan. Gus and I have more pressing issues. We need to rehearse.
Interior, police station, day. They walk.
How did you know that sandwich didn't come from the hotel kitchen?
Easy. I saw the other sandwiches in the hall. Each of them had 87 sesame seeds. Nigel's only had 83.
Are you serious?
No, the other ones had plastic swords in them. Please, Gus, I'm not Rain Man.
You sing like Rain Man.
Lassiter comes out after them.
Spencer, you missed something. We found prints.
You're talking about fingers?
They belong to Miliana Saffron. So do the drugs and the food. I'm getting a warrant.
Shawn is actually a little surprised. End of Act 2. Act 3. Interior precinct. Interrogation room B. Later. Emelina sits facing the glass. She is half drunk.
Hello? Where am I? Hello? I need my bag.
Lassiter enters calmly, chewing a toothpick. From her POV, he is out of focus.
Oh, Mr. Bean. Thank God it's you. I need my saddlebag.
And I need a confession.
Oh, all right. I had a kid in Milwaukee. His father was Samoan. Now doll me up with that bag, Flat Stanley.
I was thinking something more along the lines of I tried to kill Nigel St. Nigel by poisoning his tuna Nikoy's with a dangerous cocktail of prescription medications that I just happened to carry with me at all times. Unquote.
No idea what you're talking about.
Emelina stares at Lassiter with the craziest eyes this side of Farrah Fawcett in Dr. T and the Women.
Congratulations. You're an even bigger liar than my ex-wife.
Ex-wife?
Well, I mean, we're separated.
What are you telling me here? You got a hole in your heart?
He comes into focus. She smiles up at him.
Fill it with saffron.
Lassiter spits out his toothpick.
Right now, you're disgusting me in ways I can't clearly communicate.
That's right. Let it all out. You can't feel until you heal. Take off your shoes and socks.
Tell you what, I'm going to grab a bite to eat. You think long and hard about what you did. Then I'll come back. Let's say tomorrow afternoon.
Emelina's eyes widen like soup bowls.
I need my saddlebag.
Oh, I know. Don't worry. I'll keep an eye on it for you.
Lassiter exits. Emelina immediately begins to sweat and rubs one of her eyebrows off. Interior, police station, day. Lassiter walks out. Interim Chief Vic is waiting.
I don't know, Detective.
Please tell me you're not buying this dog and pony show. It's all an act. The perfect cover-up.
It's pretty convincing.
She's good. But I'm better.
Interior, Four Seasons, Nigel's suite. Same. Nigel wears a plush robe and is on the phone.
We've made an arrest, but just to be safe, keep your eyes open.
Are you serious? That's supposed to make me feel better?
You'll be fine.
He hangs up, now more paranoid than ever. He tears open a Pop-Tart and opens a Diet Coke. He dramatically breaks off a corner and tries to take a bite but cannot. Equally dramatically, tries to take a sip but cannot. He throws the snack against the wall. Distraught, he thinks some television might help him calm his nerves. He can't turn it on. It might explode after all. He removes the batteries from the remote, takes the phone off the hook, and locks himself in the bathroom. Exterior, Psych office, same. CNC Music Factory or something cheaper glares from inside. Interior, Psych office, continuous. Shawn and Gus, sweaty and adorned in dance attire, attempt to keep up with an unusual routine of steps that date back to the early 90s. Reverse to reveal that Juliet is leading the charge, counting out beats and dressed like she has been cast in a revival of Fame. Shawn stops. Gus stops a few beats later. Together, they stand and stare with great uncertainty as Juliet finishes the routine, lost in her own performance fantasy. The song ends. Shawn and Gus immediately snap into the final tableau before Juliet turns around, drenched in sweat, mascara running.
Come on, Juliet, let it spill. We can handle the truth.
I hope so, because you guys were awful.
Awful?
You said the last one was vile. Are we getting better or worse?
Put it this way. I'm embarrassed not only for you, but for all the people who didn't have to see that. Shawn, you're about as flexible as Kevlar, and Gus, you're not exactly the second coming of Alfonso Ribeiro, are you? Try staying on my count.
Did she just say Alfonso Ribeiro?
This isn't gonna cut it, guys. Can I teach you how to crunk? I honestly don't know. Can I reach inside you both and make you want this? Absolutely need? The way both Hall and Oates used to need it. That's one definite no. It has to come from inside here. Deep, deep inside here.
Jules, you do realize we have a suspect now, and the case is just about closed, right?
So that's what this is about? This laissez-faire, half-baked effort I'm seeing is because of the case? To win it.
Shawn and Gus look at each other. When did we say that?
Jules, are you okay?
I've put all my eggs in Emelina's basket, Shawn. She's barely lucid enough to form word endings, much less plan a series of life attempts on Nigel's life.
She could be like Kaiser Sose.
With one shoe.
I think until we get a confession, we keep our eyes on the prize. Now, let's take it back to the broken wilting bot. Gus, watch me.
Juliet demonstrates the broken wilting robot. Ring, ring. Phone inside office rings. Shawn answers. We can hear Nigel ranting on the other end. Shawn hangs up.
Duty calls.
Interior, car. Little later. Gus drives with Shawn, shotgun, and Nigel in the back. He still wears the plush Four Seasons robe. How much further? It's torture back here. I feel like I've been incinerated in a blueberry.
Shawn, I have a feeling that
This car makes me want to weep and then die.
Shawn,
Nigel, you asked for a safe house where no one will find you. That means we have to venture off the beaten path a little. Relax.
External. Henry Spencer's home. Same. They walk, revealing a house we know all too well. Nigel grimaces at the house. Good Lord. Who lives here? The Borringtons? The guys exchange the look.
There's a better than decent chance this goes poorly.
Interior. Precinct. Interrogation room B. Same-ish. Emelina is shivering, drenched in cold medicinal sweat. She is banging on the two-way glass, bordering on hysterics.
I remember something. I remember. Hurry up. I'm lucid. Get in here, Errol Flynn, and bring me my bag.
Lassiter sits calmly on the other side of the glass, casually eating a turkey sandwich with cheese and lettuce.
You hear me, Count Chocula? Don't make me pee on something. Again.
Lassiter jumps up and re-enters the room with his sandwich.
Took you long enough. I'm dying.
Yeah, that's what's called withdrawal. You ready to confess?
No. That's the thing. First of all, I can remember somebody getting into my bag yesterday.
When?
I don't know, but I was asleep. They dug around in there right in front of me.
Well, who was it?
Can't be sure. Might have been a werewolf. I thought I was dreaming.
Might have been?
Yeah. And this morning, I wasn't at the hotel. I slept in the guard shack. That makes me innocent.
You slept in the guard shack?
In the parking lot, yes. It's a long story. Sometimes I sleep on the lifeguard's chair, but I didn't want to make a scene.
But your fingerprints were all over Nigel's room.
We hook up sometimes. I went to see if he was lonely. It was a moment of weakness.
Lassiter is not happy. He begrudgingly leaves the room. Interior, Henry Spencer's eat-in kitchen, later. Nigel and the guys sit at the table. Nigel's hair is freshly styled. He sports an even plushier, thicker robe now.
You used the jasmine bubble bath?
With aloe.
Is that his robe?
Bold move, wearing another grown man's robe.
Henry enters from the patio with steaks. Gus salivates.
All right, gentlemen, prepare to taste the most succulent, evenly marinated beef you've ever... Is that my robe?
It is indeed, Horace. And it's comforting me at an elite spa level. I should also note that I am absolutely famished, and those fillets smell promising. Henry grimaces at another man wearing his robe, but has other issues at hand.
It's Henry and the ribeyes.
Sweet.
That's what I'm talking about.
Gus digs in and eats with vigor. Henry puts Nigel's steak in front of him. Nigel looks appalled.
Is there a problem?
Look at it. It's still got marks where the jockey was hitting it. Interior, interrogation room, night. Lassiter walks in, throws Emelina her bag.
Bree, the parking lot attendants confirmed your alibi.
I can go.
The sooner the better. And for the love of God, take a shower.
I'll never forget you. What was your name again?
Interior, Henry Spencer's home, night. Tempers flare. Nigel stands, now nose to nose with Henry. Who decorated this place? Chris Christopherson?
Real wood, real character. A true craftsman builds a table with his own hands.
Wanting to get away, Gus spots something off screen in the kitchen.
Is that... Damn.
He gets up and crosses out. If I were to build a table, I'm sure I'd start by using wood that had never drifted.
All right, that's it.
Already, I'm just getting started. I've got a sonnet for each piece of fish paraphernalia and a soliloquy for the linoleum.
Well, I've got a nice cold can of whoop ass in the fridge.
It's actually diet whip ass.
Gus crosses back with 3 buttered cobs of corn. Shawn reaches for a cob. Gus defends.
You must be out of your damn mind.
Dude, you have 3 full cobs.
Shawn tries again. Gus raises his hand high.
I will slap you, Shawn.
Are you absolutely certain that this cow shoulder on my plate is dead? That's all I'm asking.
Off with the robe. Wearing that robe is a privilege, and you, pal, have lost it.
I steadfastly refuse. It's the plushiest, most opulent robe I've ever been near.
Well, that's one thing we can agree on. Now give it up.
Dad, I'm not sure you're thinking this through.
Shawn, for the last time.
I'm pretty sure he's going commando under there.
Shawn tries to sneak a cob. Gus slaps his hand hard.
Keep playing, Shawn. Go ahead.
Henry considers this. Back to Nigel.
You wouldn't dare.
I'm like an angel baby swaddled in a spool of cloud candy.
What kind of sick bastard goes commando in another man's robe?
Shawn stands, grabs Henry, and pulls him aside.
He's not staying here. He violated basic robe code.
Robe code violation, check.
Look, Shawn, there's a reason this guy is on the run. He's been here not even 10 minutes. I want to kill him.
That's the problem, Dad. How do I protect him from everybody?
We already have a suspect in jail.
There's no way it was her. I wouldn't be surprised if she's already out, which leaves us with 100 more good suspects and no way to narrow it down.
It's easy. Tighten your focus. Who does he victimize the most?
Shawn thinks this through. Gus pops his head in, coming from the kitchen.
Is that cobbler in the fridge for everybody?
Interior, 4 Seasons, Emelina's suite, same time. Emelina enters her suite, mumbling. She now has her bag back, and she's clearly less lucid now.
Trying to accuse me of attempted murder? Not today. No, sir.
She enters the bathroom and grabs a stick of deodorant. As she applies the antiperspirant over her clothing, she hears a creak coming from the shower.
Nigel? Is that you? Boy, you better have some food in there.
Emelina yanks open the curtain, and as a blurred figure in all black explodes from the tub and grabs her. She kicks and screams, thrashing about until a something from behind her puts a cloth over her nose, and her already impaired vision fades to black. End of Act 3. Exterior, Convention Center, next morning. Shawn and Gus approach with Nigel in tow. There's a police barricade waiting for them. An interim Chief Vic, dressed in red, cuts them off at the pass. She is joined by 3rd Judge Rockwell and American Duos host Lester Beacon.
Chief, you're a vision in Cranberry.
Mr. Spencer, Mr. Burton, I'm afraid I've got some unfortunate news. Mr. St. Nigel, there you are. You'll want to hear this as well.
Gus left his Airwolf windbreaker in the dressing room and it was accidentally set on fire?
I wish. Emelina Saffron was found in the bathroom of her hotel suite this morning. She was clinging to life and has been rushed to St. Thomas of the Apostles. Thus far, all signs point to an overdose of some sort, but we're fully investigating the matter.
How did she escape? You must transport her to some prison hospital immediately.
Mr. St. Nigel, Miss Saffron was released from custody last night when her alibi checked out. She's the last person you should be worried about now.
We have to cancel the show. Before Rockwell can speak, Lester chimes in.
Are you kidding?
All heads turn to Lester's lack of sensitivity.
I don't want to seem insensitive, but this is the 3rd time this season she's been in the ICU.
Not like this. I won't go. I'm a sitting duck out there.
I personally will oversee the security detail, Mr. St. Nigel.
We'll all be out there together. You'll be fine. Suck it up. I'm way late for my Pilates.
Lester leaves. Rockwell pats Nigel on the back and leaves.
Well, I suppose we should rehearse.
Not before I get a Danish in my stomach.
Shawn makes eye contact with Nigel. His face is white as a ghost. He points to the chief.
She's the best of the best. You want her on that wall. You need her on that wall.
Mr. Spencer,
Shawn and Gus leave Nigel alone with interim chief Vic. As they walk off in the background, we see them look and then veer out of frame in another direction.
can I get you anything?
Are you really the chief of police?
I really am. Amazing, isn't it?
I'm sorry. It's just you have this calming presence. You exude the callous exoskeleton of an authoritarian while simultaneously oozing a gentle kindness and a delicate yet complicated femininity.
You know I'm married.
I'm willing to share. The chief blushes in full, then shakes her head. Nigel knows he's rejected. Just promise me you won't let me die tonight. Interior, Four Seasons. Hallway outside Emelina's suite later. Shawn and Gus creep along the wall towards the suite.
Lester Beacon sure didn't seem to be broken up about Emelina.
He sure didn't. Plus, his hair?
Shawn, we're in a hallway. Staying close to the wall doesn't make us invisible.
Shawn stops, considers.
Agree to disagree.
You have a plan yet?
I'm a lyrical gangster, Gus. I'll use some colorful vernacular, and if necessary, you'll engage in fisticuffs.
Shh.
Shawn and Gus smash up against the wall and hold completely still as room service attendants walk by and clearly notice them. He passes.
That was close.
Too close. Shawn's partner?
Shawn and Gus pop off the wall as Officer Buzz McNabb approaches them from down the hallway.
McNabb, what's up, man? You look tall.
Thanks. What are you doing here?
Here's the thing. We need to get in that room because I'm just about positive that Emelina didn't overdose and that foul play was involved. I need to feel the lay of the land, channel what really happened in there. We don't have a lot of time because we have to make it back to the convention center in time to win the competition. And to be completely honest, Gus is prepared to challenge you to an old-fashioned Donnybrook if you don't cooperate.
Buzz reaches into his pocket and pulls out 2 pairs of latex gloves, hands them to the guys.
I used to have the biggest crush on Emelina. You know, back in high school, before she started eating glue and whatnot. I'd love to think about what she didn't try to do. You know, do that to herself.
That makes 3 of us, buddy.
Interior, Four Seasons. Emelina's bathroom, continuous. Shawn continues his investigation into the bathroom and turns on the light.
What are we looking for, Shawn?
Beats me.
Shawn carefully analyzes every inch of the bathroom. It couldn't be more pristine, except for a rug scrunched up where Emelina was found. Nothing.
Damn. The whole place is clean. Let's go.
He turns the light off and catches a tiny sparkle out of the corner of his eye as he turns to go. Shawn vision. The beam of sunlight coming in through the window is reflecting off something in the toilet, creating a tiny prism on the ceiling. Shawn turns the light back on. Not visible.
Huh.
He gets on his knees and looks into the bowl. Shawn vision. Sure enough, there at the bottom, about a centimeter from being flushed away forever, is a single translucent bead, like a fake diamond, possibly crystal. Flashback. Shawn talking Bevan Rennie Llewellyn at the convention center, noticing the very unusual string of beads around his neck. Ka-ching. Gus re-enters the bathroom. Shawn still over the bowl.
That's what you get for drinking whole milk, Shawn.
I have bones like granite. And look at this. We got ourselves a clue.
What is it?
I don't know. Reach your hand in there and fish it out.
I'm not reaching my hand in there. You do it.
Gus, I found it, you get it. That's how it works.
I'm not putting my hand in Emelina Saffron's toilet water.
Fine, rock, paper, scissors for it.
You always cheat.
You got a better idea?
Cut to interior Four Seasons. Hallway outside of Emelina's suite later. Juliet rushes to the scene. Shawn and Gus are waiting outside the room.
What is it, guys?
Hurry, my inner signal is fading.
Shawn waits. McNabb is relieved of his position outside Emelina's door.
That McNabb's a real bulldog. He just wouldn't budge.
That's why we put him there, Shawn.
Did you bring your gloves?
Why would I need gloves?
I feel a sparkle.
Interior bathroom later. Shawn is having a psychic moment. Eyes closed. He leads Juliet to the toilet.
And I feel it right there. That came from your attacker.
Her eyes go wide, impressed.
Hackers. Plural. Emelina's bruises suggest that she was assaulted by 2 people.
Shawn and Gus steal a look.
I need to speak with Emelina right away.
He's mostly comatose, Shawn.
We probably won't know the difference.
Juliet bags the bead and heads out. The guys wait for her to exit and do some excited jumping.
Dude, that bead was on.
I know.
Go back to the office and get us some information on him.
Interior, St. Thomas of the Apostles, Emelina's room, later. Lassiter is bedside, holding Emelina's hand. She appears to be comatose. Her mouth hangs open, and she's missing an eyebrow.
Knock, knock. Visitor.
Why, Spencer here?
Shawn puts a pineapple with a bow on Emelina's windowsill.
She was my favorite judge. We all miss her. Has she said anything?
Not yet. But I'll be right here when she does, I can tell you that.
Lassie gently strokes Emelina's hair.
That's very gentle.
I misjudged her. She was innocent, crying out for help in her own sad and potentially disease-ridden way. I cut her off at the arms. I judged the book by its filthy, lonesome cover.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I don't think she did this to herself.
Neither do I. What makes you think that?
With this, Emelina's eyes shoot open. She slaps Lassiter.
Somebody's watching me.
Lassiter shakes off the blow.
It's okay, baby. I'm right here.
Shawn and Juliet look at each other. Baby?
Somebody's watching me.
And with that, she slips back into her coma-like state. Shawn closes his eyes and grabs Emelina's hand.
She's trying to tell us something.
Somebody's watching her?
We're all watching her.
Suddenly, Shawn's phone rings.
I should take this.
Interior, Psych office, continuous. Gus is firmly planted in front of his computer. On screen is footage of Bevan Rennie Llewellyn wearing his crystal beads, on stage, singing, badly. The phone rings. Gus pauses the image. Split screen with Shawn on his cell at the hospital.
Get ready to be happy.
You found him?
I didn't just find him, Shawn. I found him. Found him. Found him and found him. I knew there was something familiar about him. He's been at every stage of the competition in every city. Different outfits, hats, you name it. He ditched his partner after a few tries, and he's doing his best William Hung at every stop.
Say that again and leave out the reference that you know means nothing to me.
He was singing badly on purpose, Shawn, so that he could enter every city, knowing very well he wouldn't advance.
Nefarious.
But he couldn't do this alone. Now we just have to figure out who was helping him from inside.
Emelina said somebody's watching me from her hospital bed.
Shawn, millions of people were watching her every week. What good is that?
A light bulb goes off for Gus. He starts looking for something else on his computer.
Wait, oh my God.
Do we have a match?
Oh, yes, we do.
Interior Convention Center. 37 minutes, 2 donuts later. Rehearsal is coming to a close. The final duo, except for Shawn and Gus, Chance and Rance Cade, are singing something countryish. They wear 12.5-gallon cowboy hats. Nigel sits feverishly, flanked by Rockwell and interim chief Vic. He's watching everything but the rehearsal. The rafters, the doors, anything electrical, Lester beacons. Bang! Shawn and Gus explode onto the stage. Gus stumbling over and knocking over a bass drum. Nigel hits the deck, cowering behind Chief Vic.
Hey, this is our time. You missed your sound check, buddy.
Please accept our apologies. We just thought y'all might want to know you're in the presence of a homicidal sociopath.
Chance looks at Rance, pleads.
It's not crazy. We got a doctor's note and everything.
Beat. WTF? Then
Nigel!
Nigel slowly rises from beneath the table. I dropped some items.
Chief, so glad you're here. I know who's been trying to kill Nigel.
And who tried to take out Emelina?
And who tried to take out Emelina?
Mr. Spencer, last I checked, Emelina overdosed on her own prescription medication.
That's what Bevan Rennie Llewellyn wanted you to think.
That's really his name?
He's the wanker that auditioned in every city. Flashback. Bevan, dressed as a hotel employee, poisoning the sandwich before it made its way up to Nigel's room. Then, dressed in all black, attacking Emelina in her bathroom and putting her to sleep. But not before a slight struggle where Emelina was able to rip off his string of crystal beads, sending one into the depths of the commode.
Just another slice of deception. He can actually sing like a bird. But if you had heard that, he wouldn't have to re-audition in every city on the tour. Every city that you nearly died in, Nigel. When her head started to clear, he tried to silence her for good. Before she had a chance to put it all together.
Put what together? Flashback. Emelina's POV. Bevan rifling through Emelina's bag of goodies while she lays in the parking lot booth. One eye opens as she looks up at him, smiling wanly. He's wearing a concert t-shirt. The image is blurry. Emelina's in a haze. In flashback. Almost on cue, Lassiter and Juliet enter the back of the auditorium with Bevan in custody.
And who might this be, detectives?
Bevy Rennie Llewellyn.
Emmy's gonna be okay. She's out of her coma and she remembered this guy as the man who attacked her.
Juliet offers up a very important piece of evidence. The single crystal bead in an evidence bag.
This bead puts him at the scene of the crime.
Shawn smiles. The chief is still skeptical.
So he made an attempt on Emelina's life, allegedly poisoned a tuna sandwich.
And an equals, Chief. There's a difference.
What about all the other near misses with Nigel?
He couldn't have done it. It's impossible. He was just a contestant.
Sounds like he had somebody on the inside.
Shawn approaches the judge's table.
But he had somebody on the inside.
Flashback. That same shot of Bevan rifling through Emelina's bag. The image on his t-shirt slowly comes into focus. Emelina squints and smiles a goofy smile. It's Rockwell's spooked face and the words, "Somebody's watching me." End flashback.
Didn't he, Rockwell?
Oh, don't be ridiculous. Rockwell adores me. Plus, he can't even think. It must be someone else. What about Lester? I'd love to see him go to prison.
Bevan is Rockwell's biggest fan. He runs the only fan site Rockwell's ever had on the internet.
Flashback to what Goss saw on his computer in the office. Rockwell's fan club. The site managed by B.R. Llewellyn.
They actually became pretty good friends. And I don't think this show has provided the type of comeback either of them were hoping for.
Rockwell lowers his head. Flashback. Rockwell coordinating with Bevan, giving him access passes, call sheets, carefully and methodically plotting different attacks.
I could keep going, but I'm happy to give you the floor.
Nigel is absolutely shocked and appalled. What's he gonna say? He can't even speak.
Yes, I can. You just don't let me. I was the first one to sign on to the show. This was supposed to be my show, my shot, my comeback. You turned me into a simp. I am not your dog. People don't even know who I am. I got fan letters addressed to Jodiecki and El DeBarge. You ruined everything. Why won't you die?
And Rockwell lunges at Nigel and attempts to choke him. Nigel recoils. Interim Chief Vic snaps into action and has Rockwell cuffed in a matter of seconds. Nigel looks at her with pure adoration in his eyes. He pauses, takes this all in, looks at Rockwell as they finish cuffing him. That was your plan? Really? That was the poorest executed attack in history. I was 2 feet from you the entire time. You are absolutely, without a doubt, the worst murderer I have ever seen. End of Act 4. Interior, Convention Center, later. Showtime. Shawn and Gus are on stage, performing the last bit of their rendition of Shout by Tears for Fears. Shawn is a dead ringer for Roland Orzabal, and Gus is kicking it with some old school MJ. The crowd is eating them up. Juliet watches them from the wings as they end the song and nail with the dying, wilting robot. She exults. Shawn and Gus are quite pleased. The applause ends and Lester Beacon joins the guys.
Give it up for Sean Spencer and Guster TT Showbiz!
The crowd roars again.
Let's see what our judges thought.
Reverse and reveal Nigel. That was, without a question, the most revolting thing I've ever seen in my life that didn't involve childbirth. Are you kidding me? You're like a couple of rodeo clowns up there. Nothing was in sync. Your hairstyles are ridiculous. You butchered a terrific song, and it's time you went home. Please spare us the additional torture and just euthanize yourselves. Shawn and Gus are stunned, and we fade out. End of show.
Yay, give yourself a round of applause for everyone at the SPPD, Sean Spencer and Guster TT Showbiz, and all the murderers and the suspects.